I'm Emma Curtin, host of a new true crime podcast called Murder Archives. It's set in Toorak in 1929 about the murder of Norma Reese McLeod. Search for Murder Archives where you're listening right now.
Okay. Yeah, so all my kids have had colds and coughs, but you're telling me that Armourforce is something to take?
It's complementary medicine. I love that word, complementary.
So is that like natural medicine or herbal medicine?
It's complementary.
Complementary. So is it free? But it's not free.
It just sort of says that it hasn't got any of that, Western nasty chemical stuff in it. It's all natural stuff.
Yeah, okay.
What worse for me, went out, got out the back the other day, and our hot water service blown up.
Oh no! Is it a tank or a?
Yeah, gas tank. It was a big pool of water, and it was making a big squirting noise.
Oh,
as you do when you blow up. And
so did you get it fixed?
What day of the week did it happen?
Oh, Sunday.
Correct.
Yeah.
So rang them first thing the following morning. Yeah, can't get there before Thursday.
What?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of hot water services going out around this time of year, and he came out. So, which meant I took cold showers, which I'm going to tell you, that's hard. If you haven't acclimatised to them, that's hard.
Oh, that's really hard.
Really, I mean, jumping into because I swim regularly in the ocean, that's not too bad. But a cold shower is really a shock to the system. I sing that song that, when magicians have some music on while they're doing the trick.
Yeah.
I sing that song because when you put your head under.
Oh man.
I hope Sam Pang doesn't mind me saying this, but we were talking about it, and he says he gets under the cold shower every morning.
What?
Yeah, he starts off hot, then he goes cold because it builds your immunity.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it make you sick?
Oh,
Get
no.
pneumonia.
I mean, people think that if you get cold, you're going to get
cold.
No, you're not. You actually you're conditioning yourself. Your body's going, okay, now I'm going to build the.
Yeah, but isn't it when you get cold, your body has to overreact and fight the coldness, and then it uses up all its whatever, and so it can't fight viruses. Isn't it the way it goes? Because when you get,
so things come in and you can fight them off because your immunity's high. Are you a doctor? I'm a doctor.
I'm
Yeah.
not a doctor. I think you sound like a doctor.
I'm a complimentary doctor.
So how often do you swim in the ocean?
Well, every time I'm near it.
How often's that?
Well, if I go down the beach...
just veer off the road.
Yeah, if I go to visit my mother in the nursing home, I'll go in that day.
You're going down there?
Usually about 3 times a week during winter.
That's not bad.
With nothing on. As in, I wear budgie. Well, I wear the shorter... It's not a great look. I'll admit that. I'm white and it's winter time and people will give me funny looks.
I was up on the in Queensland with Colin Lane, and he was talking to Brian O'Kevers, and Brian O'Kevers' first question was, have you been for a swim in the ocean yet? And I said, he's like Glenn Robbins. He's a big ocean swimmer like you.
Well, I took you when we were up at Coffs Harbour. I took you in. It was one of the best things you'd ever done. Did I not?
I know you thought I was going to have a heart attack, but
You
yeah,
did
it was.
not.
It does wake you up, but then it puts you to sleep.
Absolutely, it's like Valium. Not that something happens where because you get a blood rush, and I think all the blood goes to protect the organs.
Yeah,
and so you get this real sense of being alive, and that's why I usually go into a Zen state. I call it factory settings.
Yeah,
if you're feeling a bit hyped, a bit stressed, it'll bring you down.
It will.
And if you're feeling a bit flat, it'll bring you up.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it turns you back into what you should be, and straight away I'll always feel better. But here's the thing: Michael Mosley said this the other night. It wasn't Michael Mosley; someone else.
One of those
guys.
Those doctors.
Anyway, if you have alcohol and you go in the water, you will feel the water much more. That's what I wonder if people drown more.
They panic.
But if you go in the water, say if you on the Titanic, you've had a few drinks, go in that cold water, you'll feel it more. But if you haven't,
So you would have watched that movie Waterworld and thought that looks pretty good. I could live there.
Look, if I had to say one of my favourite things to do would be to dive into salt water.
Wow.
And there's something in the salt too. There's something healing in the salt.
Yeah, there is.
The cold in the salt.
It is. Yeah.
And I mean, you go down and near where I live, I mean, whether you live in Melbourne or Sydney or wherever you live, but there's often older people who get up and swim.
Oh, the icebergers.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. Having said that, in the southern states when they do it, when they get out, they can't talk. You go, how was that? And they go,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, everything goes numb. So that I go in, seriously, for about a minute.
You only go for a minute?
Oh, it's too painful.
Yeah, wow.
No, it's not too painful. I shouldn't say that. It's not too bad, but I don't want to get bone cold.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that.
I'm feeling cold now.
Anyway, so then the man came to fix the
Hot water service.
And he goes, I could fix it straight away. I've got a new one back. And part of me went, oh, now I don't have to have cold showers anymore.
Yeah, but you'd be happy, wouldn't you? Hot water, one of the greatest inventions ever.
Even though I hated it, when I finished it, I went, I'm kind of proud of myself.
Yeah, it's like a jog or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
exercise.
I'm a bit of a hero. Yeah.
Pilates.
Anyway, I don't know what. Anyway, yeah. So
here comes the music.
Yeah, there's some music here. Comes up over the horizon, and there it is.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related, and now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
There's Sam as well. She's there,
and it is a podcast where Sam gives us these two things, and they're somehow related.
Somehow related.
They don't sound like they are, but then she reveals.
That's what makes it interesting. Because if
there was just like Daryl Summers and Hey It's Saturday, how is that related? Oh, he hosted it for 30 years. Yeah. Okay, podcast over. Glenn Robbins and Russell Court. He is Russell Court. Okay. Yeah, you want some? We should actually plug Russell Court because that'll be on 5th of August. Yeah, I saw an ad.
Yeah, 5th.
Sunday night. Check it out, everyone. It's going to be very funny. I love people Facebook comments. I read Facebook comments.
See, I'm avoiding all that.
I know they're all good. Yeah. But there's people that put on this stuff like, this guy's an idiot. I tried some of the stuff that he did and I got hurt. They're trying to be funny. Yes. No, I tell you what, it's all positive. Yeah, but and that's unusual.
Watch a turn.
Yeah, I know that. But, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it's on soon.
Yeah.
Channel 10. Now, okay, at 7:30 Sunday nights. Great time slot, the old company time slot.
Yeah.
It's a good time slot to have.
I think we are on against the final of some
reality show?
The Monkey Bar show.
Oh, the Ninja Warrior. Yeah, the Monkey Bar. Where last year they didn't give someone the winning prize because they said, no one really did it properly.
Yeah. And now people just come back and have another crack. You had a go. You didn't do it. You didn't win. You don't get to come back.
I know.
Mind you, there probably aren't that many Ninja Warriors out there. They need to get
they're very fit people. But I noticed Lisa Wilkinson and Fitzsimmons' son was doing it.
Yeah. But what do you get more satisfaction from? Seeing them do it or seeing them fall in?
Hey, I like a fall in. It's like it's a knockout, isn't it?
I love a fall in. A bravado fall in.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Okay.
Sam.
What are our topics?
The Spanish Civil War and M&ms.
Could they be further apart?
I love M&ms.
Oh, well, I love the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, I know. You're a big fan. You go on those trips. A family near us just went to France because the kid who'd be in high school is a massive fan of World War One. So they went to the Somme and stuff like that. And
he needs to get out more.
Well, Michael Veitch is like that. He loves all that. Yeah. He goes on holidays.
He's more RAF, isn't he?
Yeah, his books are great. I read one of his books the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my dad is ex-RAF and he loves Michael Veitch's books. And so he reads them and gives them to me. Oh, I read a great one about a guy called Barney who was an Australian.
So Michael didn't write it?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about a guy called Barney.
Right.
True story. So it's like a documentary book, a non-fiction book that Michael wrote about a guy who crash landed, an Aussie guy in France and became a partisan, became part of the resistance.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh, it's interesting. Really interesting. Because when you think of the resistance in France, you think, oh, that'll be so cool and they'd be so... But they were just a bunch of guys that all hated each other. They're all factions within the resistance. And they used to fight against each other, apart from the Nazis. So anyway.
Infighting, mate.
Underestimated. So, it's like the LP.
Spanish Civil War. I mean, you being a learned chap, I've been to Spain. I've only been to...
Where'd you go? Barcelona?
Can you speak?
Did you have a Barcelona in Barcelona?
You are walking down the Ramblas.
La Ramblas? I went there in the 80s and got robbed. I fell asleep in a park with the girl I was with and we got our bag stolen.
Oh, while you're asleep?
And the police officer said, you do not fall asleep in a park in Barcelona. I said, you don't fall asleep in a park in Melbourne either. We're idiots. Yeah, then the next time I went to La Ramblas, I saw another theft. It's crime capital.
Well, they had that terrible terrorist thing, didn't they?
Yes, it's
yeah. We were there. I went there just before the Barcelona Olympics to do a documentary with Steve Izard.
Oh, was it fun?
It wasn't bad. I didn't have to do anything. I was just kind of like the creative person behind it, and just wandered around and went to all the high points. Went to where
Gaudi.
Picasso doesn't have a.
Yeah, he'd have stuff there.
Yeah.
He's Spanish.
Yeah, and there's Gaudi. Isn't there a building there?
Yeah, the church.
Yeah, it's not finished.
That's right.
Yeah, fantastic.
Mate, to finish it up, get the apprentice out there. That's amazing. It's amazing his sand something. Yeah, and there's all bits of houses and stuff. You can go and see some of the houses he designed. And yeah, it's amazing. France, Spain is a great place. I haven't been there for a while, but we went to Madrid and San Sebastian, and we saw.
Did you go with that girl? Did you lose your passport or anything?
Different girls.
It's so hard to remember so many different girls.
Madrid was with Kira, we've been together a long time. We went to Madrid, and because she's into art, we went and saw Picasso's museum, and they had Guernica, which is the famous painting that Picasso did of the Spanish Civil War.
Yes,
and it's an amazing painting.
Is it the one that's like grey almost?
Yeah, and there's all people getting blown up and stuff, and he painted it, and he said, because the Spanish Civil War, what was it about? It was like Franco was a fascist. And all the lefties went over to fight him. Australians went and fought in the Spanish Civil War.
Really?
Yeah. And English people. But Franco won and got into power for like 30 years. He was like a dictator. And Picasso would refuse to bring his Guernica painting home until Franco died or got out of power. God. So that's what happened. So he kept his painting in France, I think, until Franco was gonski.
Waited. So it was a civil war.
Yeah.
Which was what, 30s? 30.
Yeah, it was between the wars, I think.
36, 30.
Probably.
Something like
that. 30s, yep. Yeah, when you look at the footage, yeah.
And what was it? Wasn't it Germany and Italy got involved? Didn't they sort of swoop in and sort of try
I think so.
The nationalists or something?
Yes. Yeah. So Hitler was backing Franco. But then, interesting, Franco and that didn't get involved in the war. They were neutral, which is interesting.
And what was the outcome?
No, Franco, the right-wing guy, got into power and stayed in power.
So the overthrow worked?
Yeah.
So what is it now?
Oh, no, now it's a democracy. I have no idea who the government is, but it's a democracy. But Franco was definitely the winner of the Spanish Civil War, as far as I know.
Did Italy do it? So I'm surprised Italy got involved.
Yeah, that would have been Mussolini's time, wouldn't it? Or around that time, all the fascists. They're all there'd be a bit of phone hookup with Hitler, Franco, and Mussolini. Got a group phone call for you, Mussolini. Put them on. What's happening over there? Are we getting rid of the lefties? But M&ms. I mean,
that's such a.
I love M&ms.
Now, let's just do a little bit of history on M&ms. I have to be honest. I thought that M&ms weren't created till they came here.
No, they're American.
They're American.
They're American.
So when would they have been first created?
I know
the junk food expert that you are.
I know a bit about this because I did some gigs for the Mars
of
Corporation.
Of course.
Now Mars make M&ms, and Mars is still a family business. So it's not a public company. It's still just a family business owned by the Mars family. Snickers. So I had to write a trivia competition for the Mars workers.
So you've learned so much.
I think I know this M&Ms one. I'm getting a flashback to my memory. Snickers, where's that name from? Don't answer that. It was the family horse. And if you buy a Snickers bar, there's still traces of young Snickers in that bar.
Snickers the horse?
Snickers the horse.
So you don't want to know that. You don't want to buy the Snickers and think about a horse?
And so what happened, and you know how Mars bar... You know what Mars bar... So what happened was the Mars family had a very big, chocolate company in America in the, turn of the century. And then the son of Mars moved to England and set up his own branch of the Mars Corporation. And he invented Mars bar, which was a rip-off of the Milky Way bar. It was a... So
Milky Way came before the Mars?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
Blow your mind?
Because Milky Way is fairly light.
Light, and Mars is quite heavy.
We're going to go big time. We're going to throw it all at the
in England. In England.
So that was in England. Okay,
that was in England. So, and when the Mars, the great grandson still tours Australia to look at all the factories. There's a factory in Ballarat in Victoria. That's where I did the gig. I went up to there and did a gig up for the factory workers, and he still comes and visits the factory, but he doesn't want to stay in a hotel. So he drives a massive Winnebago around Australia, and they have to plug it in the car park.
Now, hang on. So this is Mars is Australian.
No, it's
Mars is
it's American.
But he brings a Winnebago to Australia.
It's hire one.
Oh, so he hires a Winnebago when he comes down. He drives around
and plugs it into the car park in the Mars factories. Because I want to stay in a hotel. Because he's a multi-billionaire.
I mean, yeah.
And I assume he can just wander into the factory and take whatever he wants. I'll have some of them. All right, thanks, guys. There's dinner done. I'll be back in my Winnebago, multi-billionaire of the Mars family.
I think Mars is right on the top end of being, like, calories-wise. It's off the scale, isn't it?
M&Ms, I bought some last night. I've started making a chocolate bar of M&Ms. So M&Ms are normally just like a pellet, like a Smartie.
Yeah. So what came first?
I don't know.
Smarties or M&Ms?
That is a very good question. I should have found that out for my trivia competition.
Can we ask Sam? We won't ask anything about M&Ms, but can we ask Sam
Smarties.
when were Smarties created?
Smarties were created by Roundtrees in York, England in 1937. They were originally called Smarties chocolate beans.
So they're
1937.
So there's
similar timeline.
The Spanish Civil War, I think, was mid-30s.
Sam, when were M&Ms invented?
M&Ms were first introduced in September 1941.
The M&Ms came after.
Yeah.
But in a very similar time frame.
Yeah.
It's all just between the wars.
And M&Ms was American?
M&Ms were British.
M&Ms were British and Smarties were...
Well, no, sorry. So I think Mars is an American company, but they've got a British company as well. But I'm pretty sure they're American. M&M's American. Yeah,
I think
they're American.
Did M&M's go through a period where they had to stop production on the red ones?
Why?
I think I remember something about that was the red colouring that was carcinogenic.
Oh, okay.
Even though M&M's weren't, they did it as a gesture.
Oh, okay.
To say that, So they went through a bit of a period where there's a trivia question, Mr. Junk Food.
Bugs. Is that what you're going to ask me? What is red colouring from? Or what flavour? Where do they get it from?
No, I was going to go, what are all the different colours of M&Ms?
Oh, no, I don't know that.
Oh, come on. That's not hard, is it?
There's a lot of colours, isn't there? There's red, yellow, blue.
So you already know more than me.
Because I eat them all the time. Brown.
There's a beigey one, isn't there?
M&Ms have gone that way of twisties and chips. You get all sorts of M&Ms these days. So in the old days, it was just
peanuts,
peanut and plain, and occasionally crispy. Now you can get almonds, you get peanut butter, anything ends up in an M&M.
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me. But M&Ms in the Spanish Civil War, I think I know this one. I think I actually know this one because of my trivia competition writing for the Mars Factory. Because I thought, what's a way to kill time with Mars employees?
So what are we going to listen to, Sam? Because we could have some thinking music. Because I've got a bit of an idea what I think. I'm not sure whether we're on the same track.
Well, it's either a Mars ad or a
bit of Spanish music.
I love Spanish. music.
Yeah, a bit of flamenco.
Gypsy Kings. Ole,
I went to a dance hall. I went to a dance hall in
Spain,
Barcelona. It was one of the best things I've ever done. I was up on the top level, just looking down on all these people on a Saturday night. Dancing's good for you.
Oh, it's very good for you.
They were just loving it. They were doing. I don't know what they were doing. They certainly weren't Spanish. They weren't doing the flamenco. They were doing some sort of Latin-y, swirly,
a roundy dance.
Roundy dance, and it was exciting. It was sexy.
Yeah,
I'm going. I want a bit of that, and we should have more of it. Anyway,
I want to go back.
Flamenco. Oh, with a bit of who'd want to live below the guy who's just taken up flamenco dancing? Would you know? Because that's the stamping of the feet, isn't it?
Yes.
Flamenco dancing.
That's it.
Hands in the air. How good am I?
Bullfighting. That's also Spanish. Anyway.
As I said, with the your feet going hard on the wooden floor.
Spanish
dance. Okay,
Spanish.
I'll go first because I reckon you've got a better idea on this, and maybe what I'm saying is similar. I would imagine when you go to war, and I don't know. I mean, in the Australians used to take tins of bully beef. Bully beef.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm wondering,
and Anzac biscuits.
Yeah, so that wouldn't go off.
That's right.
I wonder if they created it's hard to create though. Back in the 1930s, was it?
I
40s?
think it's the 30s. It's the 30s Spanish Civil War. It's the 30s.
Yeah, but when did the M&Ms come
41,
out? 41. So maybe it's why is it?
They'd have a bit of development time. didn't they?
So, okay, I'm going to say they created it so they could eat something when they were out in the trenches that didn't go off.
Yeah.
So, some sort of...
I think you're right. I think, well, that's the same one as me. I think, I'm pretty sure that one of the Mars family saw soldiers eating them and then inquired what they were and then ripped off the idea and produced them commercially. Because they were chocolate covered in a hard candy.
Weird thing to be able to make, though, in the 1940s.
I know.
Very clever.
I know. Should we find out if that's right?
Yeah.
Forrest Mars Sr. was in England in the 30s and noticed soldiers for the Spanish Civil War eating small hard candy with chocolate inside. He took the idea and started a patent process in America where they are still made today in New Jersey. The company's first big customer was the US Army, which saw the invention as a way to allow soldiers to carry chocolate in tropical climates without it melting. During World War II, the candies were exclusively sold in the military.
That's amazing. So one of the Mars family, the thing that gets me about that, what was he doing in the Spanish Civil War? Was he on holidays? Says to his wife, we should go on a holiday this year. Why don't we go and visit a war zone?
So they were eating Smarties in the Spanish Civil War.
No, well, they were eating a chocolate covered in candy that they had made. The Spanish people had made.
Been to war for the day. Been out fighting. Let's sit back and
have an M&M or a Smartie.
It's not really a soldier food, though, is it? It's not really sort of, anyway.
No, it's like, okay, we need to get over that trench and into those guys in the machine gun. Hang on, I'll just have a handful of Smarties or M&Ms. Okay, I'm ready for it. It's a sugar rush. Let's go.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
I'll tell you something I don't like about... See, Smarties used to come in quite a narrow box.
Yeah.
So then you would leave them in the box.
Yes.
Pour them into your hand, and then you would eat them.
And then when you've only got a few left...
Oh, you put the box to the mouth.
Yes,
back.
box to the mouth.
Okay. Here's what I don't like about M&Ms. They come in a bigger bag.
Yeah.
So what tends to happen is they go out into a bowl.
Yes.
And they look like they're making a bit of a statement, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they? Do you think? Look at me. I've got a lot of M&Ms. I'm a cool guy.
Man.
If you go into a board meeting, often a big bowl of M&Ms we put in the middle of the board on the table. And then, if you're a germaphobe, people are just clawing at it.
Oh, yeah, they've done studies and found that it's like peanuts in bars contain a certain amount of urine and stuff like that.
A certain amount of urine.
Yeah.
Urine. How are they picking up? How are they picking up the nuts?
It's one of those university studies. I was telling my kids the other day, they always do these studies in the paper. It does studies like, researchers found out that computer games appeal to teenage boys. Well, who didn't know that?
Take the rest of the day off.
Take the rest of the day off.
Job done.
Who didn't know that? Fat people eat bad food. What?
Because I did hear that in reference to, because when you go to the bakeries, and they always have a really nice
sample going on there. Yeah.
I actually one day was down the street, didn't have any money, then went into the bread shop, pretended to want some bread.
Oh, and you just took the samples.
I went, have you got any of
that sourdough wholemeal
out the back
with grain?
Yeah, I think I can see one right down the back of the shop. And then I'm just going bang. And then someone came in, oh my God, look at him. He's
just that guy from the TV eating the free bread.
I went, you know what? I don't think I feel like bread today. See ya.
Yeah, you've had enough. This is my samples. So answer me this, though. When you go into the supermarket and there is normally a lovely lady, sometimes a man, and they've got something there to give you a sample of, like a dip or a cheese.
Yes.
Or some kind of thing.
I'm keen.
You get in there?
Yep.
And then, but do you feel obliged to buy one?
Oh, no.
Oh, you don't feel obliged?
Oh, no. What I do is I do the chat. I go, well, that's really interesting. No, because they don't sell them right there.
Sometimes they do.
Oh, do they?
Sometimes they do.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because you just throw it in your basket, couldn't you? You don't have to pay for it. No, I go, that's really interesting. I'm just doing a quiet little shop today. Yeah. So we don't...
I'm going to tell my partner. She does all that
she knows
for sauces and dips.
Yeah, and dips. But I do think it's a dreadful waste, because they have those little cup, usually a little cup.
Yeah, a little cup thing.
Like and then you have the thing.
Like medicine or something.
Yeah, and you're going, look, there's all those empty cups there. That's waste.
Well, there we go. Spanish Civil War and M&Ms. Who'd have thought?
So, okay, soldiers, let's go. Get ready. You got your gun? Yep. Got your backpack?
Yep.
You got your hand grenades?
Got them.
You got your M&Ms?
Yes, Sarge.
Over the top.
Over the top. Oh, man. If there was a war, where would you see yourself in which bit of the army? Something I often think about. Which bit of the army would you be in?
Well, you're saying fighting or behind? Are you?
Yeah,
more of a-
any role. I always saw myself as the cook. I'm going to be a good cook. Just there banging out the mashed potato, the gruel, the fat guy, the dirty smock. There you go, boys. Well done today.
I'd be in morale.
Well, is that a job?
Surely it's a job.
I mean, you could be in the entertainment.
No, that's different. That's where you put on shows.
Yeah.
I think I'd just wander around and I'd give him a bit of a shoulder massage and go, "You going to do good today?"
That's like a general or something, though.
No, general's there to don't mess up. Otherwise, court martial. Whereas I'd be in morale. I'd be.
Just like you're going to be a mobile masseuse person.
Well, at the front line.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to have. Just give it a bit of a rub.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
And I can see you being a chef.
Oh, yeah, cook.
I can see you. I can see you with sausages and gravy.
Yeah.
And mashed potato.
Yeah. Because you never trust a skinny chef. When you go to a restaurant and then the guy goes, "Oh no, the food here is great." You look at the chef and you're like, "Oh, well, he's not eating it."
Yeah. I don't like when the chef's a bit sweaty.
Yes. Yes. Do you go to restaurants? This is not racist. Could be considered racist. I often look into the kitchen and see what nationality the chef is, then order.
Whatever their nationality is.
Well, yeah. Well, if they're Indian,
because they're going to be good at that.
They're going to be good at curries, aren't they? They've been brought up. Whereas if it's an Aussie bloke, I always go, hamburger or chicken parmigiana. He's not going to... I mean, this Thai shop opened up near me, and I went to order, and the guy came out, he was Aussie as me and you, Anglo-Saxon. He goes, "G'day, mate, how you going? What can I get you?" And I go, hang on. Are you cooking the food? Yeah. And he goes, "No, my wife is. She's from Thailand." I'm like, "Okay, no worries, just checking."
Yeah, I want to see her. I'd like to see her. She needs to come out.
I think you, Gary. I'm going to trust you with. I might as well cook pad thai myself if it's you. Anyway, I'm hungry now.